Good morning, dear students. Welcome you all in Classroom Notes by Rekha Jain. Today we will study the chapter Journey to the End of the Earth by Tishani Doshi. I will explain the chapter with the help of the text and the word meanings. Word meanings are given by the sides of the difficult words in brackets. So this author is a poet and dancer too, and her first book, Countries of the Body, enabled her to win the Forward Prize. She is the winner of poetry competition of 2006 also. Her articles appear in newspapers, literary journals and magazines. She is an adventurous woman who took a group of school children to Antarctica, which enabled her to win global appreciation. This article will definitely reveal vital important information about the evolution and future of our planet, and this will compel people to realize the importance of the planet Earth and its correlation with sea and frigid zones. Now she shares her experience of her journey. She reached there in a Russian research vessel whose name was the academic Shokal. And when she went there, she found the place was a coldest, driest and windiest continent. And her journey started from Metros, involving 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water and as many ecospheres. Now when she reached there, she had covered a distance of 100 hours in combination of a car, aeroplane and a ship. And when she reached there, her first emotion was that of relief because of uninterrupted blue sky, and she was wondered also because of its immense isolated expanse of beauty. Then she takes the readers back to history. She tells that 650 million years ago there used to be a giant amalgamated southern supercontinent whose name was Gondwana and which was roughly centered around the present day Antarctica. Then humans haven't arrived. Climate was very warm and it hosted a huge variety of flora and fauna, and this is an incident of 500 million years ago. This Gondwana existed for 500 million years, and that time when Gondwana was a prosperous supercontinent, dinosaurs suddenly started disappearing, mammals started coming underway, and this landmass supercontinent started breaking into countries, and the globe of present time is before our eyes. Now he says that Antarctica is very important place because this will give us a peep from where we have come to which direction we'll move, and very important is to understand the Cordilleran faults, Precambrian granite shields, and ozone and carbon, evolution and extinction, and all this study can be done where? Only when we go at Antarctica and study there, because life of whatever species of animal is found there is in its pristine form. Now author gives us a visual how this present globe formed. She says, imagine India pushed towards north, jamming against Asia to form Himalayas. Then South America moved to North America to join, but in between there opened the Drake Passage, keeping the area frigid and cold and aloof from the whole of the world, that is at the bottom of the world, and that is present Antarctica. Now she says that it's very easy to remain in a comfortable zone like Madras. We will never think about the global warming, global changes, and when we go there, this is just there here means Antarctica. This will just moving in a giant ping pong because there are no human markers, no billboards, no advertising, and visual scale, all varieties of the life is housed there, starting from the smallest to the largest, like from mites to midges to blue whales and huge icebergs. And days and nights are not formed, only the austral 24-hour austral summer light, and unpleasant everywhere, very strange silence can be felt, and that is disturbed only by snowstorms and breaking ice sheets. And this scenario it gives an impression of being this place a sacred place, and that is why author says that going to this place will definitely takes us back to Earth's geological history, and study of that will be mind-boggling for us. Now she talks about the human impact on this earth. She says that though human civilization has been very small in front of the huge geological clock, but she warns us that during such a short span of our own existence, we have established our dominance on the nature. We have achieved here means established our dominance on the earth, and we have disturbed this nature by settling villages, towns, cities and mega cities, and with an ever increasing human population, all other different animal and flora and fauna species are left struggling for their survivals, and we are carelessly using the fossil fuels, which is creating a layer of carbon dioxide and which is gradually increasing the global temperature. And this climate change is the hotly debated topic, and this raises three questions. Will the West Antarctic ice sheet melt? Will the Gulf Stream ocean current be disrupted? Or will it be the end of the world? Maybe or may not be, but Antarctica is a very crucial element to debate, not just because this debate is not important just because it's the only place in the world. It's not the only place in the world, because it has never sustained, because it is intact by the human population, and it is in its pristine form, that means in its earliest form, and this Antarctica holds the ice cores, which are 500,000 years old carbon records trapped in its layers of ice, and this will enable the human beings to study the past, present and future of the earth. Now she says that Students on ICE program was very successful. Why? Because Geoff Green, a Canadian, who was the head of this team, he has become tired of taking the celebrities because they can give only in a limited amount. And he was of the opinion that students are young and they are energetic and they are ready to absorb, accept and implement, and they will offer they are the future generation and policy makers, and that is why when they will go there themselves, they will be ever ready to understand the global changes in context with the Antarctic Circle. Now she says that it's easy to blaze about polar ice caps melting while sitting in the comfortable zones. Now blaze about here means being indifferent. It's very easy. But when we go there and we see through our own eyes that the glaciers are retreating, ice shelves are collapsing, then we are compelled to realize that this is the real threat of global warming. And she says that only then we will start realizing that we must introspect on our own actions. And she says that Antarctica is an intact area because of a simple ecosystem, and this is a perfect place to study the environmental changes, because we can understand very small activities here on this part of the earth, in north part of the earth, small activities cause big changes there, big repercussions there. Now she took one example of microscopic phytoplankton, and this is a very small variety of grass, but that nourishes the entire southern Asian food chain. And these are single celled plants, and these use the sun's energy to absorb carbon and synthesize organic compound, and in a very wonderful and important process which is called photosynthesis. Now scientists have given the warning that already there has been caused a hole in the ozone layer, and if that goes further, then this phytoplankton activities will be affected, and in turn this will affect the whole marine life and the birds of the region and global carbon cycle. And this is although this is a very short story of phytoplankton, but this consists of a great metaphor of existence. How she says that let us take care of the small things and the big things will fall into place. That means if we be aware of our activities here in the northern part of the earth, the whole ecosystem will be maintained. Now she shares her experience of walking on feet on the ocean. Very unique experience. She says that although her journey was filled with memories, but this one was the most wonderful memory. And there came a place where their ship, their vessel Shokalski, was stuck because of the thick white ice between the peninsula and Tadpole Island. Now captain gave them the orders to deboard that and to climb down and to walk on the ocean. So this was a wonderful awestruck. They were awestruck by the beauty of the vast expanse of this ocean. This was a team of 52, and they kitted out in Gore-Tex and glares. These are their accessories, and they were walking on the ice, and under their feet was a 1 meter thick ice pack and 180 meters of living breathing salt water. And you see, students, rare species of the animals like crab eaters, seals, they were sunning themselves, they were sunbathing on ice floes, just like the stray dogs which you see around your area under a tree. Now this was nothing short of a revelation. Everything does indeed connect. Means when that area was intact from human activities, such wonderful scenes, beautiful scenes of the nature can be seen. Now she once again reiterates about the facts of her journey, that she covered 9 time zones, 6.3 bodies of the water and many ecospheres. Later she was wondering about the beauty of this planet, and how would it be if Antarctica were to become the warm place once again, and can we see that, or we the human beings like dinosaurs will disappear? What to say and how to say that she doesn't know, but she compels the people to think about the importance of the planet Earth and its study. How? By going to Antarctica. So this was all in today's video. We'll meet again with some more explanations of questions, etc. Till then, bye bye.